Hey guys, so you is back. I do hope this video finds you all in a happy state. Today I'm going to be talking about thin locks versus thinning locks. I feel like there's still a little bit of confusion within the lock community over these two terms, evidenced by the fact that some people are combining locks because they have thin locks versus combining locks because they have thinning locks. Now, it's one thing if you want to combine thin locks just because you want bigger locks, but it's another thing if you're combining those thin locks because you're afraid that they're going to break off. Are you confused yet with thin and thinning? I know, it's a mess. Let's get to it. Okay, so I figured the best way to kind of explain the differences to show you examples within my hair. As you know, my hair grows away from my locks, the new growth. It does not grow into the lock. I've said this 1,000,001 times on this channel now. I know you guys are getting sick of hearing it, but it just keeps coming up. As a result, my locks, especially these two side ones, could be seen as locks that are thinning. And so what I have to do, I have to retwist more regularly than I would like. I retwist once a month to reinsert, to reusher that hair back into the lock. But in the days leading up to that retwist, if you look at the lock, you can definitely see that it's thinning. So let me show you. Okay, this one right here. Alright, I've shown you this lock before. See how it's there's less hair there, right? All the hair is here. It's not like I'm actually thinning at the roots, but the hair is there. So, but if you look at the lock, it's thinning, right? So that's an example of a thinning lock. If I didn't have this problem, if the thinning that was occurring with that lock was not a result of the fact that my hair doesn't grow into the lock, but instead I just have less hair at the base of the lock, then yeah, I would entertain the idea of combining it with a nearby lock so that I would have more hairs at the base, closest to my scalp to support the weight of those locks. Now let me give you an example of a thin lock. And of course, since I'm on camera, I will be able to find one, even though I swear I was just messing with it because I just took the thumbnail pic. Okay, here it is. So yeah, here's an example of a thin lock. As you can see, this lock has been thin since its birth, right? Since my mom first put that comb coil in, it's been thin. If you look here at the base, there's more than enough hair there, okay? So even though this is a thin lock, it's fine, it's completely healthy. And you think about it, people who have starter locks, or not starter locks, sister locks, and micro locks, people have small, thin locks all the time, and their hair is fine and their hair is long, in a lot of those cases. So there's nothing wrong with thin locks. The problem term is thinning locks. That's when action needs to be taken. Now, as I said before, if you want to combine, thin locks, smaller locks to make them thicker, to increase the girth, then that's fine. That's, that's within your right. But don't feel as if though you have to combine thin locks just because they're thin. The only reason that a lot of people really combine thinning locks is because they're afraid that the lock is going to break off because it's thinning. And as you get less hair at the base supporting all the weight of the lock, then yeah, it's more prone to breakage. But if you have thin locks, it's been supporting that weight all along. There hasn't been a change in the lock, and in its structure, essentially. The foundation is still strong, it's still there, it's still sturdy, and your lock is in no danger of breaking off. So hopefully this clears up the confusion over thin locks versus thinning locks. Let me know what you guys think about this topic, and if you have thin locks, if you have thinning locks, and what you're choosing to do in either case. Hopefully we can disseminate this information and educate everyone within the lock community so that we are making the right decisions for our respective lock journeys. That is it for this video. Please learn to love unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. Sebbies, you is out.